did the Oilers pull off that comeback, PK?
You know what? Stuart Skinner. And Stephen A. remembers this from last year in the playoffs. I spoke a lot about Edmonton's goaltending situation. There was questions about it. He was phenomenal in game one. The biggest part, and we know this, Florida went up 3-1. He shut the door. The other was Leon Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl was almost a no-show last Stanley Cup final. Now, that could have been from being banged up, a little bit injured whatsoever, but that's all great. He showed up in a big way. Big first goal, and then obviously the game winner. So those are the two main reasons for me why Edmonton completes the comeback. Something they've been doing all season, too.
S.A.?
You know what, Florida, this is their third consecutive year in the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, they lost in 2023. Obviously, they won last year. I was there with PK, Game 7. I actually enjoyed myself. I was a guest of commissioner. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Bettman. You know I'm always looking out.
He says hi, by the way.
Guys.
He says hello, by the way.
I know. We spoke. Here's the deal, man. I got to ask you this. Who did you have favored coming into this series, and why? Because I didn't hear that from you.
I had Florida coming in favored, and because of the experience. You know, Stephen A., coming into the playoffs, I was worried. This is their third finals, right? So even if you like their team, you have to think they're running on fumes. But they haven't looked like it. A lot of people aren't talking about this, but Florida's got a lot of new players on this team. There's a few other guys that they had to let go. Lomberg, Stenlin, Oliver Ekman-Larsson went to the Leafs. So they missed some key pieces in that run. This is not the same team, and neither is Edmonton. So for me, I had Florida still because of this man. Alexander Barkov, to me, the best two-way center in the league. Over a 7-game series, going to be very, very tough for Connor McDavid and company. And then Bobrovsky, who won a Vezina in 2013, he's been playing at that level ever since, Stephen A.
Well,
he has not dropped. His level of play hasn't dropped. I still think the Florida Panthers are the better team.
Molly, let me interject here with it, because when we talk about the Oilers, obviously you're going to talk about McDavid or whatever. How key is he to this series? Can he afford? He hasn't been subpar. They're +5 with him on ice, but if he's struggling in any way the rest of this series, how daunting of a task is it for his squad to win?
Well, and this is the big question. Edmonton has gotten better. They have way more depth up front. I think the biggest challenge for McDavid is timely greatness. That's what Edmonton needs from him now. They don't need him. You cannot win in the National Hockey League, winning the Stanley Cup. You ask Gary Bettman, you ask any player that's played in the National Hockey League, they will tell you it's the ultimate team sport. Hardest trophy to win for a reason. You can't rely on one player. So for McDavid, it's never about whether he's going to rise to the occasion and play big enough to be one of the all-time greats when it's said and done. He's done that. He's done that his whole career. Now it's, does he have the team to back it up? And you could see that in game one. He didn't have to drive the bus all game. For 65% of that game, Florida was in total control. If Florida doesn't hand them 4 power plays, they don't win that game. So for me, Edmonton definitely is in a better position. McDavid's in a better position to win, but it's going to come down to it. They've definitely shrunk the margin. So you're asking me, what's the margin of difference between Florida and Edmonton compared to last year? It's definitely smaller. So that means that the table is set for Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, those two specifically. You can add Stuart Skinner to it when it's all said and done, because if they win, his jersey will be going up the rafters with them if they win. Those two guys, the margin has shrunk. The table's definitely set for them to take over this series as it goes. But for 7 games, can they sustain that, Stephen A., this level of play for 7 games? Not one team in the National Hockey League has been able to do that with the Florida Panthers the past 2 seasons. So we're going to have to wait and see. Florida's the better team for me right now.
Okay, before I get to my last question, and your analysis is sensational, I don't know what's bothering me more. My OCD's kicking in watching that beautiful hat on the dirty floor, or that you took the hat off because this man told you it's all part of the fit.
Well, Molly, it is all a part of the fit, but it's also important for people to see my face because this is premeditated. Stephen A., I do not just wake up this way and look like this. So he's right. I have to agree with them. The hat,
that's unfortunate because I do.
The hat's so much not taken away from the suit. It's taken away from the face too, Stephen A. Come on, man.
the thing about it is, who is Molly to say something like that? You know, you ever see her with some? You ever see her with some big hat on, hiding her face? No, but
No.
she goes sit up there and be okay with you hiding yours. The only time she put on a big hat was when we was at the national championship game, and I made her put on that big gigantic hat.
I wear a hat every single day into studio. You just don't see me.
Not
every single
on
day.
camera, Molly.
Stephen
Not
A.
on camera.
Stephen A., one thing that America will agree with, everybody would like to see Molly's face more than ours. So, I mean, no one's going to agree with that.
I
Let's be
appreciate
real.
that.
No. I have
First time.
Let me tell you, this man, it's called irrational confidence. Just let him go with it.
Okay.
All right, last thing. Significance of Edmonton wins becomes the first Canadian team to win the Cup since the 93, right?
Highly significant. Big deal in Canada. You saw the CN Tower. They had it lit up in Edmonton Oilers colors, Stephen A. When was the last time you seen any other city light up the colors of a rival city like that? That's how big this is to Canada. And as a Canadian, I definitely want to see it come back. The significance of it. Stephen A., if Connor McDavid wins a Stanley Cup, Leon Draisaitl wins a Stanley Cup, I don't know if this is going to happen, but I'd be an advocate for putting their jerseys up in the rafters right away. These guys have been that good. Oh, immediate Hall of Famers. These guys are going into the Hall of Fame, and if they get it done, you may be able to add Stuart Skinner's name to that group.
It's a big statement
because
right there.
it is a big statement. It is a big statement because that's how great these guys have been. Without having that ring on their finger, there's not one player in this league that'll say that those guys don't deserve to have
Well,
one.
they got some making up to do, too. They gave up a 3-1 lead last year and losing to Florida. They got to win this year.
Big time. So I think Edmonton's got a real shot, but it's going to come down to goaltending. Can Stuart Skinner continue to play at that level? Can he match Bobrovsky or not? And can they contain the greatest player in the game, Connor McDavid?